happy Wednesday and almost happy New Year. So Valerie Hunt with RunRx Ask Me Anything Wednesday, and I had two great questions, and they're actually repeat questions, which means more than one person had the same question. So that's why I know it's important to talk about today. So two things we're going to talk about today. First, how do I hold my fall to hold that 180 cadence? So I've had several of you have been so great. You've been like, I'm trying this, I'm pulling, and then I try falling, and I cannot keep up. It's too much. So that's the first conversation we're going to have. And the second conversation is a couple people have been reaching out because, of course, we're all about running pain-free. And they have been, for their injury, they've been using what they call it, rice. Not actual rice, but resting, ice, elevation, right? That's how it goes. So she said, do I just keep icing it? What do I do? My hamstring, she's got a hamstring issue. So let's talk first about that, okay? So we'll talk first about that. So if I have an injury, what do I do, right? And I'm talking about not I went to the doctor because I broke my foot, but I actually have like something that's recurring. Maybe you get a sore calf, sore hamstring, shin splints, my heel, my plantar, IT band, these things that we feel over time, or they happen consistently. So the answer is I have to correct what I'm doing wrong to get that injury in the first place. And so what I recommend, of course, is adding skill training immediately. RunRx itself is we're skill, strength, and self-care. So yes, of course you have to stretch and mobilize and do your flexibility and all of that, yes. You have to do that regardless if you're a runner or not, right? I mean, we just all have to do that. We need the strength, not just like not go to the weight strength, go to the weights kind of strength. We need foundational strength. My foot needs to be strong. My hips need to be strong. I need to be able to support my body weight when I'm running, to make sure that I'm not injuring myself. That's really important. And then, of course, skill. How do I run? So you can always take the free quiz on the site, runrxquiz.com, and it helps you to see. Maybe you're reaching, maybe you're pushing, maybe you had no idea what you were doing when you were running. You were just feeling these pains. We also have free on the YouTube 30-day practice, and I cannot recommend it enough. I do it every day. So it goes over the actual gait, of running. How do I run? What should I be doing when I run? So that as I'm recovering from my injury, yeah, I'm still doing my stretching, absolutely. But think about it. Say my calf hurts, or I'll use hamstring. Her hamstring is hurting. My hamstring hurts when I run, doc. Okay, well, don't run. Just kidding. But we hear that too, right? So, okay, here's a stretch for your hamstring. So I'm stretching my hamstring, or I'm icing my hamstring, or I'm heating my hamstring, or whatever you're doing to the hamstring. When I go to run, what are you doing with your hamstring? You see what I mean? If I'm not understanding what's even the point of my hamstring in my run, then I'm not sure I'm ready yet to go back to running. Same with my calf, my shin, my whatever it is. If I'm not connected with how does my body work when I run, then I can stretch all day, but when I go to run, it's not helping me run. So keep that in mind, okay? So that's number one. So again, we're going to work on our skill. It's a good New Year's for us. We're going to work on our skill, our strength, and our self-care. So second question was, hey Valerie, thank you for this new speed I've gained in my running, but I can only hold it for like 5 or 10 seconds, or my calves are really burning and I'm fine. So I want to show you guys, I have this piece of chalk, so it was a reminder for me. So I want to talk for just a second about when we're running. Most of us are still thinking about, I really want to get there. So we think we're going to extend our stride length by reaching. And, we did know nothing. Like, we didn't travel. We did take our leg and extend it, but we really didn't go anywhere. Our body was still here. So if I do that when I run, right, I extend, then I'm still stuck here. So then you got to take your back foot and go, whee, push. And when you do that push, you still didn't really go anywhere, but now that foot gets to go forward. So you're literally bringing your body along with you by first reaching and then throwing it forward by trying to push. Both of those, unfortunately, use what's called active muscle contraction, and they act like brakes. Because if I'm reaching, there's no more forward movement. I'm stuck here. And if I'm pushing, again, it doesn't cause forward movement. It just causes my back leg to extend and go back behind me. So right away, I'm like, well, then shoot. What do I need to do? Okay, you need to do absolutely nothing as far as trying to travel. What you need to do is learn, I just need to be standing in my running pose, my figure four. Remember, from the hip down, we make our four. Acceleration comes from falling. Gravity is acceleration. It's always happening, right? Gravity is always the best running partner in the world. You have to have a little bit of patience to allow the fall to happen. It's not an action. It's not an action, it's an allowing. Because remember, it's already happening. We're the ones holding back. Like right now, I am not falling. I'm holding my shoulders back. My body weight's basically in the heel of my foot. No, thank you. I want to stay upright. So if I want to accelerate forward, you have to take, the fall happens, gravity acts on your center. You've got to bring it all in a line. So right now, my shoulders need to come forward. See, they're behind me, coming forward. I need to be balanced on the ball of my foot. Ear, shoulder, hip, lifted ankle, in a line over the ball of my foot. I'm going to fall, so there's my foot starting at this line. So I'm going to fall, pull. Here I am right back in my running pose. So if I draw a line here, and this is where I started, you see? There's my stride length. My stride length was the distance I traveled in the air, because travel is in the air. The distance I traveled from pose to pose. So in place, we can really exaggerate, right? We're not going to have time to do this in our running. But in place, we're like, oh, whee, pull. And there we go. So let's say I wanted to increase my stride length. Well, then I would have to hold my fall for longer. So then you have to pull quicker. But look at how much more my stride length was. Didn't do any more work. I allowed myself to fall. Your foot's a pivot point. Your body falls over your foot, you pull it. So let's say on the other way, well, Valerie, I can't maintain that level of fall. Don't worry, neither can I wish. That's okay. You just need to learn to feel that as soon as you fall, you pull, fall, pull. Now look, this is probably a very manageable stride rate for most people, and you can actually run by up, 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 up. You see, this is a stride length I can maintain, if you will. It's a fall angle I can hold. Remember, falling is holding. The struggle in running is in cardiovascular fitness, right? Breathing. Running is a cardio activity. So if I'm running and my legs hurt, or my muscles hurt, or your joints or your anything is hurting, then you have to think, oh, I'm not running, I'm landing. Whereas if I'm running and my limitation is my ability to breathe, then yay, I'm running, I can adjust my angle of fall to sustain my ability. You see what I mean? Like we all have 22.5 degrees available. We would love it if you would just use even 3. You know what I mean? So you have no idea how much more fun and how much less work it is to simply quit worrying about how far I'm traveling and instead think, am I falling and pulling my foot? But you can practice. See, it's a lot of fun in place to practice an exaggerated fall. Like, woo! See? So that when I run, I'm just as happy with this angle of fall. So the drills are to exaggerate so that when you run, it's very natural. If you try to jump for running, so if I try to jump that stride length, jump, that would really tire me out, because if you're spinning your run jumping, you're going up and down instead of going forward. So you have to develop a relationship with just the understanding that there is a fall. And I have to practice falling in the beginning when I'm not running, so I can sense what falling feels like. And I also use this a lot. I have this already set up. So if you've got like a band or something, you can grab it, hook it on around a post, fall from your center. You see, like Titanic. You have to allow this. This is a conversation that you have to have with you and gravity. And that's the thing. It's like there's no stretch in the world that's going to help me free fall. Just me. I just have to feel it. And I'm relaxed. And then you can practice pulling. Then you can turn a metronome on. Up, 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 up. Remember, when you run, you only have to break contact with the ground. The height of the pull is from the hamstring itself. Your hamstring reflex already knows how high to pull. You don't have to tell it. It knows. So if you're just going out for a run, hanging out, relaxing, your feet should look like that. Oh look, I'll use these. If I want to try to race, then I'm going to fall more. My pull's going to be a little bit higher. If I'm going to try to sprint, watch. Woo! Now my pull is a lot higher because my fall angle was higher. Not because I was doing any more work. That's the fun of running. So if I want to go out and just, hey, run with my little pulls, or if I want to go out and, woo, really speed up, then that's on me because your gas pedal is right here. So when you think about how do I practice that, well, I've given it to you. You can just do the drills. Just simple repetitive drills to develop your muscle elasticity, doing hops, skill practice itself, learning how to pull, develop the relationship with your hamstring. There's not a hamstring machine. So pulling is actually what's called a reflexive response of the hamstring. So it's very rarely trained. I've never seen it in anything else but pose. So I encourage you guys to start to work on your own body awareness. You don't need any equipment, but just to understand, okay, this is what pulling feels like in place, but knowing that when I run, I simply break contact with the ground. So those of you that are struggling and holding that cadence, make sure you're adding the elasticity drills. And, you know, use a metronome. Get a rhythm. Feel, what does that actually feel like? Up, 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 up. So the challenge for most of us isn't so much the pulling, it's this part. It's that free fall. So take some time, have fun with it. Find a wall to practice with, but just remember that that's a forever skill. I will forever improve in my running if I continue to practice my fall. So last thing I'll say to you guys for a Happy New Year, I hope you go out and have a great run. Keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. I love having these discussions. And if you would like to come all the way into the membership, we are open. So what's great about the membership, you come in, you get to let me see you run, let me see you practice. We do have gait analysis, we do Zoom, so I can help coach you interactive. And best of all though, you have someone to communicate with, me, a coach, to make sure you're progressing correctly, and we have an awesome community. So I'd love to see you in there. Otherwise, please go through that RunnerX reboot or take the quiz. Thank you guys. Happy New Year.